Hello!
Hi.
Welcome back to the very first podcast episode on our channel, TheeSmollPotatoes. We have a very special guest today, Austin from Bucket of Owls Gaming.
I'm gonna do something risky.
Alright, I'll laugh.
Nailed it! Oh, I'm the coolest.
Put the link down below, but if you guys need some Let's Play recommendations, please go check them out. But yeah, today we're talking about Eddington.
Eddington.
Jesus Christ, what a wild movie from start to finish.
Yeah.
Good God.
It made me put down my Switch. I was playing Tears of the Kingdom. It was just like when I watched Conclave the other day. Like at one point in the movie, I was like, wait, I can't do this.
I gotta lock in, yeah. Eddington was wild from start to finish.
Yeah.
I would say.
I was curious about what you thought about it because you texted me twice during the movie.
What did you say to tell me?
You said, dude, what the fuck is this movie? And then I'm never watching it again.
Okay, so.
But that was a lie because we watched it
I wasn't
again.
sure how you actually felt about it.
So I already have a discrimination towards Ari Aster films.
Okay.
Because he, a lot like Darren Aronofsky, excuse me.
Yeah.
They both have movies where just like, here is everyone hating you.
Yeah.
And that's sort of an anxiety trigger for me, personally speaking, because during Eddington, just watching Joaquin Phoenix go through all his mistakes, it was so hard to watch. And
It was.
And I'm just like, this is exactly why we did it with Robert Eggers too. But we skipped Ari Aster's Beau is Afraid, just like we skipped Robert Eggers' The Northman.
Oh yeah, The Northman.
Oh, okay.
And it's not that we're scared of The Northman, but I definitely am scared of watching Beau is Afraid. Because, God, Ari Aster has a way of making you feel like you're just going through such a nightmare sequence. And just spiraling out of control.
Like a realistic one, too.
Right, yeah. Like your choices don't matter.
Yeah. Like no matter what you do, it just sucks for you.
I haven't seen Beau is Afraid yet either.
Okay.
I just haven't got around to it, but it's on my list.
Well, obviously Midsommar and Hereditary definitely push the boundaries as far as plot and filmmaking go, because in Hereditary the most gut-wrenching scene is a child losing their head.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
It's I wouldn't necessarily say that's the most gut-wrenching scene because there's like 4. But it's up there. It's definitely the most visceral.
Yeah. Our first movie where we actually watched Midsommar first, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And he definitely has his themes. He has his themes of, just like Darren Aronofsky, everyone sort of hates you. And this, from personal experience, it feels like a bad trip. It feels like a bad psychedelic trip where everything is spiraling out of control. But Eddington starts with our main character, if there were any, in Joe Cross. Joe Cross, played by Joaquin Phoenix.
No, it starts with the homeless guy.
The homeless guy. That's correct.
Starts with the homeless guy. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
He's he's doing this weird speech, and every once in a while he's like bah bah.
Yeah, he's sort of like a goat, right?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Well, I think that's supposed to be like
him being like a sheep.
Well, I took it as because you remember something like goats are often associated with satanic imagery. That's kind of where I took it. And also, I didn't know anything about this movie. You're like, hey, let's watch Eddington. And I was like, all right, I didn't know anything about it, so I wasn't sure if there was going to be some sort of supernatural or sci-fi bend to it. So I was like, oh, is this like Sinners, where a guy just shows up out of nowhere and he happens to be
I feel like if anything, it's closer to True Detective without the supernatural stuff.
Yeah, for sure. There's a big, it's big neo noir.
Yeah,
type of bend.
I was pushed to watch this upon the current stuff that happened at Utah Valley University.
Yeah.
I was pushed more than ever by a very close friend of mine. He said, please go watch Eddington right now, if anything. And I put it off for a week to go watch it because just the political landscape of everything going on right now, it's a very, very, touchy subject. I don't know if we're under some sort of authoritarian state where we can't speak what we want to say, but I am going to tread carefully on speaking what we do want to say because this is a neo-Western psychological thriller.
Yeah.
It's such... I didn't know what to expect from Ari Aster because I'm very careful when watching his films.
Yeah.
And just, I would say nothing really captures the political landscape that we're in now than when we were going through COVID, which you and I obviously, we worked together in the past, but the political landscape, I would say, really changed during COVID.
Oh, 100%.
Whether or not you were neutral or not, because it forced you to pick a side, and it forced us all to be home and be on our phones and watch whatever our feed was giving us.
Oh, yeah.
And sort of essentially be like, no. We're definitely on this side, and you need to understand what is going on right now. Because everyone felt sort of, you saw it early on with the mask mandate, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just like our main character, Joe Cross, after the homeless guy is introduced, he's sort of having this battle with
the Pueblo police.
The Pueblo police.
Which is the district over.
And they make him, put on a mask.
Because they're like, didn't you see our signs? You have to wear a mask.
And he's deeply offended by that, just like a lot of the people during COVID.
Yeah.
It was very weird to watch because obviously this world, our life, we've never experienced a pandemic. Obviously it happened in the 20s, in the 1920s, but we were sort of handling this like we wanted to, which was very carefully. We were told that reducing the spread was putting on our masks, but a lot of people, especially Americans, felt that their rights were sort of being infringed on, correct?
Yeah. A lot of people claimed that for sure. It's such a weird time because the thing about COVID was that a lot of people, I think, weren't taking it seriously because it was kind of an invisible affliction.
Yeah.
Because people weren't getting boils, their hair weren't falling out. It wasn't the Black Plague or something like that, where it's very visible and stuff like that. And so I think, and it got downplayed a lot by people just for internet clout and money and stuff like that, and that affected everything. And you're right about talking about how the COVID really changed the culture, because there was definitely an enshittification of American culture because of the tribalism that came out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of this movie too, is the enshittification of culture by bad actors. Right?
Yeah.
And that ties in really well with no spoilers for Midsommar or Hereditary.
Yeah.
But those movies are also, those characters are beset by invisible forces outside of their control.
Right.
But in Eddington, it's stuff from the real world, so and it's stuff we all lived through. So it feels a lot more poignant and a lot more poignant.
It's genuinely scarier in a more
that it's real. This is something that actually happened. It might feel like an exaggeration sometimes, but it's really not.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And it's still happening. There's still 1 million cases of COVID every day. They just reporting on the numbers.
I forgot. Who did I say just got COVID?
Oh, right. So, some actor just got COVID.
I want to say it was Dennis.
Oh, Steve Martin, right?
Steve Martin. Yeah, Steve Martin got COVID.
Yeah.
So he had to cancel his tour.
His tour for, I don't know, whatever.
His comedian tour.
Okay. And here's the thing, though. This was towards the end of Trump's administration and just how poorly it was handled. But this, I would say, when COVID happened, I feel like this was the shift. We used to make fun of anti-vaxxers. No, seriously. We used to just be laugh at them and be like, oh yeah, that celebrity's cool and all, like Kat Von D, right?
Oh yeah, and then it was like,
Yeah,
oh, she's an
Jenny McCarthy.
anti-vaxxer.
Yeah,
Or vaxxer, sorry.
but they were anti-vaxxers, and they didn't really have such a prominent voice like there is today.
No.
I feel like 2020 really shifted the way that politicians could just say some wild, outlandish shit and get away with it, because we were all just consuming so much of our media through our phone because we were during lockdown. And what was weird too was that we started the pandemic in Austin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Austin really implemented the 6 feet, like everyone's sort of got to wait for the supermarket to get in.
They shut down a bunch of businesses.
Yeah.
But then we moved to Dallas.
We moved to Dallas, and I know Dallas technically votes blue, but I tell you, it was such a shift because none of it was enforced in North Texas, especially here in Dallas. And just like our main character Joe Cross, he feels like this is an attack on his freedom. It's also important to note that he is asthmatic.
Yeah.
And this is something that could affect him deeply, right?
100%.
Yeah.
And he feels with his home life that we see later on with Emma Stone playing his wife, and
I forget his wife's name,
she was Louise Cross.
Louise.
Yeah, Louise Cross, yeah.
And
he calls her like
Lou.
Yeah.
or like, no, he had like a kitten or something like that.
Yeah, rabbit.
Rabbit, there we go. Yeah, I knew it was a small animal.
We feel like he's sort of suffocated in a way.
Well, because his mother-in-law too.
The mother-in-law thing is like a big part of the movie.
Yeah, like she's always like muttering under her voice or like speaking over them, like being like, "You're such a freaking like failure."
Yeah, and she's guilt tripping them for not listening to her conspiracy crazy shit.
Yeah. Oh my god, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that happens a lot to people who had to go live at home with their
loved ones,
their crazy aunts and uncles and parents and shit.
Yeah, because God knows what they were consuming during that time. All I know is that we were firmly on wearing a mask and reducing the spread. Correct?
Yeah, but it made because it was like, oh, it's not that hard to just wear a freaking little mask.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah, some people took it as like a huge affront to their egos, really.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when it really started with the extremism.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because then you had all those like podcasts of those guys being like, "This is how you become a man."
Oh, right, the rise of people like Andrew Tate.
Yeah, Andrew Tate. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
And
because too, like now there's people who had time to listen to them.
Yeah.
Before,
absolutely.
People probably didn't search that stuff or didn't come onto their feed as often because they're finally on their phones now.
Yeah, they were at home.
Yeah.
And this affected the youth a lot. I know we're a little bit older.
We enjoyed COVID.
Yeah,
Lockdown
honestly.
at least. Because I was like, we get 2 weeks off of work.
Lockdown wasn't bad, yeah.
And then Animal Crossing and Doom came out.
Yeah.
But Animal Crossing especially, like, day and night was so different. So it was like literally like, wake up, let me play my Animal Crossing, and then later at night, I'll do all the cool night stuff.
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, I put in probably 1,000 hours in Final Fantasy 14. Right?
Oh my god.
It was wonderful for introverts.
Yeah.
Yo, absolutely. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
But that's not everybody.
Yeah, which is understandable.
It affected the youth mostly, and I swear, entering the workforce, a lot of these young males, currently right now, I would say ages at oldest 23 that I've worked with, they definitely feel a certain type of way towards women and how they can approach women. And, I would say it was very damaging towards these young males, especially. And it forced us all to sort of pick a side,
Yeah.
Whether or not we were neutral or not, it forced us to pick a side. But this homeless man that starts off this film, he's sort of arguing with himself, which we see thematically throughout the film. We see this homeless man, I would say during the first 2 parts of the film.
Yeah.
Not really towards
the first couple parts.
Not really towards the end.
Yeah. Spoilers.
But this movie is very much about division and the division it created amongst everyone in society. And Joe Cross, played by Joaquin Phoenix, definitely feels attacked. As an asthmatic, he doesn't want to wear this mask at all. He's infringed on his rights, and he has this constant battle with the mayor, Ted Garcia,
which is where he goes next.
Yes. Yeah. He is answering a call by Ted Garcia, played by Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. I before we move on a little bit, I do want to highlight that Emma Stone's character, Lou, she's sick at home. She has some sort of like serious condition where she can't, before the pandemic even happened, like she is afflicted. So he's living with somebody who is presumably immunocompromised, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah,
and he's still not wearing a mask.
I know. And you can see she gets a little mad about that too. Like,
yeah. So he's putting this person that he loves
in
purportedly
danger.
At risk. Yeah.
Because of his pride.
because of his pride, yeah.
Yeah. And we see whenever he answers the call to Ted Garcia's
to Guy.
To Guy.
Yeah.
One of his
deputies.
One of his deputies informs them that they could cover it, but we feel that Joe Cross feels a need to handle this himself because we later found out that a lot of his
anger towards Ted is because he dumped his wife like 20 years ago.
And his police force has been reduced due to finding out that some of his employees were racist.
Yeah.
Some of them were infringing on First Amendment rights. Mm-hmm. And he just feels that Ted Garcia's force as a progressive politician is sort of attacking him personally too because Joe Cross has a lot going on. He's got way too much going on during this pandemic. And Ted Garcia sort of resembles this change. Yes.
Yeah. And he's like, because I remember during the pandemic, people were talking about we're gonna build a new better. Like we're gonna rebuild society in a better way.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. It got worse.
No, it did not.
So Ted Garcia definitely represents that sort of like optimism that people had, like progressive people had during the pandemic. It's like, oh well, this thing is so big, it's gonna unite everybody, but it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
And then the homeless guy is. I saw him as like he's like this agent of chaos that comes into this little town. And it's like, oh, he's COVID. And then the way they deal with him doesn't actually solve any problems.
Yeah. Everybody just
creates
him.
more.
Everyone dismisses him.
Both sides.
And here's the thing too, because I will admit, I definitely was someone that was like on social media, like telling people, hey guys, come on, please wear a mask. While at the same time, I was going out to go pick up. I wasn't partying, but I was going out to go pick up food constantly.
Sure, yeah.
And I was going out of my way because I had these extra funds. It was very hypocritical in a way, just like Ted Garcia's town hall meeting, which is what he labels that bar scene that the homeless man is sort of disrupting. And Joe Cross, when he arrives, he doesn't even notice him, I would say. Because the homeless man is out there, he's beating on the door, he wants to get into this bar, presumably to drink up all the alcohol.
Yeah.
And the call was made by Ted Garcia because this man was being disruptive.
Yeah.
He was being super aggressive. But they are both ignoring the issue here. Which I feel like this homeless man resembles a lot of battling within himself because he's arguing with himself, right?
Yeah.
And just like as society, especially in America, we were battling amongst each other, but not really addressing the force that was COVID. And you're right. Mm-hmm. I do see him as the force of COVID because he is essentially patient zero, right?
Yeah.
As we later find out.
Yeah. Because they even said, like, Joe even says, like, oh, like, COVID is, like, on the other side of the country. It's not here in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He wants to deny it. But he sort of fails at,
controlling the situation in general.
Yeah, especially with Ted Garcia because
then the homeless guy breaks in.
He breaks in. He starts drinking a bottle.
Yeah, and he goes over there and he's all like, "Let me just get this guy."
Yeah.
And he gets his ass beat.
Yeah, I would say the homeless guy definitely kicks his ass.
JWoww's over here. You can stay, get your ass beat.
If that guy is representing COVID, that's foreshadowing. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this was right before tensions were at a climax here in America, because this later we find out that the George Floyd accident or tragedy happens
like later, right?
and this is
a
all
murder,
been
really.
Murder.
Yeah, absolutely, by police brutality. We find it out later because, you know, Joe Cross is feeling attacked by Ted Garcia, constantly reducing his police force, but at the same time, this is what's happening here in America. It's never stopped. It's always been a thing. And, you know, we see whenever Joe Cross gets home, you like you said earlier, Emma Stone has some stuff going on. Louise Cross, she's not well, and it's definitely not helping that she's with her lunatic mother, Dawn, who is listening to this podcaster, Vernon Jefferson, played by Austin Butler, who is
very good at being crazy.
Absolutely, he's very clearly like an Alex Jones type figure, right?
Jared Leto. That's what he reminded me of.
Absolutely.
I like that.
It's go ahead.
He's really good. He's barely in the movie,
I know.
but he's really good.
He's so good at it. His part genuinely was like, oh, is that how like
real skeevy?
He comes home to a passed out Dawn who has been listening to this nonsense all day.
Yeah.
And a passed out Louise, because
she's not passed out yet.
Oh, she's kind of like in bed.
Yeah, she's watching the video.
She's watching
some of her art. Yeah.
Vernon Jefferson too, right? So
as soon as he comes in, she's like, you know.
Yeah, but she's saying how unhealthy it is for her to live in this environment with Dawn. Because her mom is constantly like printing out these articles where it could have been an email, but because Dawn,
and she checks her phone like a child
to make sure that she's watching it, and as we have found out currently that a lot of these towns that live by this data center, right? There's this data center that's outside the town called.
Well, not yet. They're gonna vote on it soon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's proposed. Yeah, it's called
Solid Gold Magikarp.
Magikarp.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a Pokemon reference, but it's also
right.
It's gotta
the
be.
Same way.
I know, right?
It's this other driving force that drives conflict within Ted Garcia too, because we find out that Ted is not perfect.
He's already in favor of the data center, even though he knows that they already are in a drought and whatnot.
The shiny Magikarps are gold.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's supposed to represent something, because like a Magikarp turns into Gyarados.
Yeah.
It's like becomes this huge monster at the end of the movie, right?
Yeah. This harmless thing becomes a monster. Okay, I can see where there's something there.
I feel like I'm reaching a little bit with
I like that. That honestly makes sense.
No,
they use the name for a reason, right?
Because when it's a Magikarp, it really doesn't need water, but when it comes into Gyarados, it needs the water.
Well,
the water.
It also is like telling us that no matter what, because as we later find out when the movie ends, this data center gets built no matter what.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what happened.
Tech prevails.
Yeah, tech prevails.
Tech prevails, and it doesn't matter whether you're far left or far right. You know, as you see on Twitter every day, people are asking Grok what 2 + 2 is. You know?
Right?
Like,
like Grok, how am I supposed to feel about this?
Yeah, like people are overly in current day. People are overly dependent on AI and AI answers, but we see the next morning that Joe is sort of getting scolded by Dawn, the mother-in-law, about how he's just kind of like I'll call if I'm Ted Garcia and I'll answer the call no matter what.
Basically, it's like you're Ted Garcia's little
bitch, pretty much.
Yeah.
He calls and you come running.
He goes grocery shopping, right?
No, he passes by the grocery store on like
he sees them not letting the guy in without
the old man, they're like physically pushing him out.
Yeah.
I was working retail in like October
you had to deal with that yourself. Yeah,
September of 2020, and it was just like every day. And it was a toy store. It was like the least, it's like the least essential thing in the world.
I know, same.
Yeah.
But you were open regardless, and you were having to deal with these people that were so-called infringed on their rights, and
Yeah, very, very entitled.
I worked at the mall, and it was
Oh, God.
like, ugh.
Can't imagine.
But
Oh yeah,
Joe
Grocery store,
Joe Cross relates to this
old man.
this patron, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's like, no, you cannot treat people this way.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to wear a mask, this is America. You
But-
don't have to wear a mask.
But the grocery clerk is like, but it's a mandate. Like I have to follow the law, and he's
It's
like,
store policy and all.
yeah. And then he makes him
Joe sort of sends him back in on the store,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
he's like, no, go on in the store,
Buy your
resume your
groceries,
shopping.
yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's not a mandate that's implemented. And conveniently, Ted Garcia is in the store.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's a movie, so he's got to be in there.
Yeah.
And they have this altercation where Ted Garcia is sort of giving these scientific facts where, if a person has COVID-19 but
Like-
has a mask, the spread rate is reduced to 1%.
1.5%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joe Cross doesn't want to believe this because he doesn't believe that COVID is real, which a lot of people did believe in 2020.
Yeah, you get some people you can't logic them into caring about other people.
Absolutely.
It just
That is what it
doesn't
is,
work.
yeah.
It just doesn't work for some people, right?
Yeah. And as you said earlier, the homeless man sort of resembles COVID-19, and he
Yeah.
is dismissed by
He's
both
always
Ted
ignored,
Garcia.
yeah.
He's always
Yep.
ignored. That's the
Yep.
actual issue.
Yeah.
He comes into this town. He creates this tornado,
And he's like talking to everybody too. Everybody comes in contact with him at some point in the movie.
which I would feel like I really do hate centrists because I
Yeah.
don't believe that they exist. But I feel like this movie really captures the middle ground of what was
Yeah.
going on during COVID.
Yeah.
And, Ted Garcia doesn't care about this homeless man. Joe Cross doesn't care about this homeless man. But they're having this discussion where science is sort of dismissed.
This homeless guy
Yeah.
shouldn't even be locked up because he assaulted an officer technically.
Yeah, and
Right,
and
yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Cross does nothing about
Yeah,
that.
he never went after him and arrested him. He just lets him roam.
Well, he does something about it later, but it doesn't really solve the issue because it's already out of the bag at that point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's both Ted Garcia and Joe are using him really for
Yeah.
it's performative in a lot of ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
because they're both
absolutely.
because once Joe starts running for mayor, like he uses all of the COVID stuff
Yeah.
as just a platform
Yeah.
to try and get people to follow him, and then Ted in a lot of ways is doing the same thing. So yeah, it's very I don't think the movie has a centrist message necessarily.
Yeah.
But it definitely has a centrist perspective
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're following this weird sheriff who can't
It shows us
has
that
no empathy, right?
Yeah.
No empathy.
it shows us that politicians really don't care about us, just like I found out during 2020. No, with Kristen Sinema. She voted on the minimum because I believe it's 2020, correct? They voted on the
Yeah,
minimum
21,
wage being
something.
raised. And I always
yeah.
felt very confident in her because she was the first openly bisexual congresswoman,
Right.
correct? And she voted
think so.
no on the minimum wage rate.
Yeah.
And I definitely felt very betrayed by politicians because they definitely don't have our best interest at heart.
No, not at all.
And we're not political experts. We don't
No.
wish to speak on this definitively, but
I wanted to note that also this entire time Joe is like being filmed.
oh my god,
And he's
yeah.
he's getting irritated by it too, because he's like, you're filming me. So
he was filmed confronting the homeless man.
yeah, but he didn't know it
Yeah.
back then. But yeah, he was also being filmed at the bar when he got assaulted by them.
Yeah, and
beat up.
and when he stands up to this patron that doesn't want to wear a mask at the grocery store, the patron later, it's found out that Joe pays for his groceries.
Yeah, he pays for his groceries, and then the old man is like, "There's one decent person
Yeah,
in this town."
he's like, let me
Yeah.
take a picture because the one thing that we had during this pandemic was our phones.
And
Yeah.
it's like the first time you see Joe genuinely
Happy,
smile.
yeah.
in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
movie.
It's like the rise of the attention economy.
Yeah,
because
yeah, he's getting
we were
praised.
all trapped at home or whatever, and like just trying to interact with people online, and so it became less about getting people to buy things as it was to get people to have their eyeballs on something.
Yeah.
And so once you get a taste of that, it's like, oh, I need more of that.
And-
like that's what we're making videos. Let's put it on the internet. Like it happened to everybody.
Well, like speaking of that, because then Joe takes
So-
control of the camera.
Yeah,
and
this
he
leads
goes
in.
on live. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, like I'm not gonna wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask.
COVID doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And Ted Garcia is lying to you, and he doesn't have your best interests at heart.
But I do.
And I'm running for mayor.
Yeah.
It's a very impulsive decision.
Mhm.
It's very much in the moment. He feels empowered for once because this man, the whole time, he is going through it.
Everybody's
One
like,
guy on his side now.
Yeah.
So he's gonna try and run the world.
exactly.
It got to his head, and it leads to this ultimate confrontation between Joe and Ted in, I would say, Main Street of whatever this small town is. I know I come from a big city. You come from a moderately small city. But we know what Main Street looks like. and God, there's just something, whether or not how it was filmed, that just takes over, because when this confrontation arises, Joe and Ted have it in the middle of the street, and the wind picks up. The wind picks up. Joe is clinging onto his cowboy hat.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Cause like he comes in the conversation really confidently. He's like, I'm recording this, you know. Like he's like, I got the camera.
Yeah.
Be careful what you say.
I can do it too.
Yeah. But then like Ted is like, oh really? Well, let's see why your deputies were being arrested. One was a pedophile.
Police brutality and racism and First Amendment infringements. But go ahead.
I was gonna say just on the a part of this was shot around Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and because Eddington is set in eastern New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
And one of my former jobs, I spent a lot of time in that area.
Oh,
really?
In
wow.
rural eastern New Mexico, and it was like watching this movie. I was like, oh yeah, no, that's exactly what that looks like. Like every little town, you go to like Las Cruces or like Carlsbad, like they're all like itty bitty little tiny towns like that.
Yeah.
And New Mexico's an interesting spot because it's very rural.
Yeah.
But it's got mountains. It's politically, it's somewhere in the middle. It's kind of like the right spot to tell a story like this, for sure.
They have this confrontation, and Joe Cross sort of sticks to his guns, right?
Oh, yeah. He doubles down even.
Yeah, he's had enough, because we find out that there is a middle ground with Louise Cross, who has a history with Ted Garcia.
Yeah, they dated in the past, but
very briefly, yeah.
But Joe believes that like something bad happened between them,
and he's the reason why
his wife
going
is like
wrong in the town.
Yeah.
We find out that Louise does not support this decision at all.
She's really mad about it, because she's like, I don't want people watching me. I don't want people watching my mom. Like, I don't need this in my life. Did you even listen to my therapist?
He doesn't even consult her. He just does it.
Yeah.
As an impulse decision. And
it's not even clear if he files the appropriate paperwork.
Yeah, because like later his deputy's like, hey, like we only have 43 signatures. We actually need 150. And you need a treasurer, a councilman.
Everything. There's so much that
he just wants to come up with slogans.
Yeah. He like on the whiteboard is like, I already wrote like 8 on the whiteboard, like slogans.
But we find out that, his mom, Dawn, also calls it foolish.
Yeah, because she's like, you left the sheriff's spot or something like that. She said something weird.
Dawn is sort of like in a little support, but Louise is like, this is you and my mom's thing.
Yeah. She says like, I don't want a part of this Ted stuff. That's you and my mom. That's not me.
That's not me at all.
Yeah.
And we finally see Joe Cross have some sort of drive in his life. He obviously is not interested in officiating his town. because he doesn't do anything about the homeless guy. Who needs help, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But he has this drive against Ted Garcia, who he feels is the cause of calamity of sorts within the whole town. And
yeah, he thinks that he's like the root of all of his problems.
Yeah.
When most of them are internal.
Yeah.
Right. Where he's got like his mother-in-law is just like
crazy
like
person.
mentally ill,
Yeah.
and his wife is like physically ill, and he's like spiritually ill.
Yeah.
He has a weak soul, and he can't. His ego can't take any amount of like criticism or pushback or anything like that.
He's definitely not
even
respected.
if it's in the interest of the greater good, which he clearly doesn't believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He selfishly sort of recruits Guy and Mike, I believe.
Well,
Michael.
Yeah.
They already know that they're gonna help him.
Yeah, because they can't believe it. They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, Joe, is this true? Like, are you?"
Kind of gets
And they're also both chronically online, I would say, because it's just the three of them as the police force.
Yeah.
In this small town.
And they're constantly telling Joe, like, hey, like, you should see this online, this is what's happening. They're the ones to always be like, look at this, look at my phone, look at the computer.
These are people that actually show Joe Cross respect.
Yeah.
And Michael sort of wants to connect with him in a way with his gunsmith skills.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Like Michael is like, check out like this target that I hit.
Yeah, like I was picturing the sniping with no scope, and then like Joe is like, well, you'll never be my record.
Yeah.
It shows like it's like a headshot.
and you see both Guy and Joe Cross sort of refer back to Michael as their inside man as far as the people of color during this political landscape.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of protests that go on, and they sort of refer to Michael for that. They're sort of like, what's going on, Michael?
Yeah, like, how do you feel about this, or what's going on?
You're black. You should know about this.
Yeah. That's exactly what they do. But we see that later on, the mayor's son, Eric Garcia, he also doesn't really respect these mandates because he wants to go out to parties.
And he does. He goes out to parties with his friends.
His friend Brian specifically.
Yeah.
And this is where I would say the movie sort of tells us where some of these young males were led astray. Because Brian is having this internal conflict because he wants to impress a girl.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's at this hangout in this small town where they know they shouldn't be hanging out, and Brian wants to impress, I forget what her name was.
Sarah.
Yeah, I forget too.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah, that's right. Yeah, politically, but he's looking up like an Angela Davis, Wikipedia. He's wanting to give her facts. He's wanting to relate to her in some way.
Yeah, and he comes up to her.
She's really politically active. She's got like they know about each other, or like he knows that she's really more into like the lefty stuff and protests and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And he only sees that as an avenue to get her attention.
Yes.
Which happens a lot. Especially with these young men who like, I want a cool alt GF.
Yeah.
and then they just cosplay as somebody who's progressive to maintain their attention.
Because they're like talking, and then he's like, well, not all white people are privileged. And then like Eric goes like, hey, where did you drop your red hat
somewhere?
Back there?
Yeah.
And he kind of embarrasses him a little bit in front of his the girl.
Yeah.
And then like later, Eric ends up like talking to that girl.
Yeah,
by himself.
for himself, even though he said she was annoying.
Oh yeah, he was like, that bitch is annoying.
But
like,
Eric is also undermining Ted Garcia's mandates. Because Ted Garcia
100%.
is the mayor of Eddington.
Yeah.
And he's the one...
They're not wearing their mask, really. They have it on, like, their ears, but they have it all pulled down.
And when we see whenever he doesn't have the cameras on him, we see that he really is not perfect.
Yeah.
We see that he's got this town hall meeting, and this other lady sort of confronts him about the data center being built and the scarce resources that are in Eddington.
Yeah.
But Ted sort of dismisses it.
Yeah, he mutes himself, and he's like, "How do we get this bitch to stop talking?"
yeah.
He's speaking to Warren,
which is the guy who is basically the sellout,
the executive a producer for his campaign.
Yeah.
He's the one telling Ted what to say.
Mm-hmm.
And you also see, because there's a point where Ted's son is like taking his car to go see Brian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't want him to go, not because he's afraid of his son getting sick, but because of the optics for his campaign. I was like, if you can't control your own son, how can you control the whole town?
Which it mirrors Joe Cross too, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a kid that was arrested for being publicly intoxicated.
Oh yeah.
And whenever Joe Cross gets into the police station, he sort of dismisses this kid, right? Because he's focused on his campaign.
Yeah.
He's focused on the enthusiasm of Guy and Michael that are just like, what do we got to do? We got to get signs going. And it tells us the truth about both of them. They really don't care what's going on here in the town. They both want to win this mayoral race.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all they really care about is their own power.
And while all this is going on, while they're trying to figure out Joe's campaign, Joe is texting his wife, and she's not answering at all. Even her message is green.
Oh,
it's blue. And he comes home, he makes dinner for her, and we see that he waits hours. It's 10 o'clock, close to 11. When she comes back home with Austin Butler's character, what's his name? Vernon.
Vernon Jefferson.
Vernon Jefferson.
Yeah.
and we see this is really where she's sort of speaking up for herself finally, right?
Yeah, I had a note here, be Luis doesn't ever really have a voice. It's always Joaquin being hey, how are you feeling? And then giving her advice, or her mom just putting her own words into her mouth.
Yeah.
She's never really talking
for
ever.
herself.
And this is the first time you see her be okay, no, this is what I believe in, and this is what I think,
Yeah.
But sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Austin.
Well, and that whole scene is
creepy.
Where she comes home with the cult guy and two of his adherents.
Yeah. It was Deborah and Brian. No, not Brian. It was somebody.
Yeah.
It was Debbie and Billy or whatever.
Yeah,
it was. But they're just kind of there to show this guy has a following, and then they kind of do whatever he says, and you sort of, I think a big thing of this movie is or a big part of this movie is sympathy and the limits of sympathy and that everybody has for any individual person, because you feel bad for Joe in this scene because he's not buying this crazy guy, and it's look, he does have a bit of sense about him, but he can't see that he's kind of doing the same thing, and you feel bad for him because his mother, his wife, and his mother-in-law are getting sucked into this crazy thing that aren't.
His mother-in-law actually leaves the table because she's this is crazy.
Because it's implemented that Dawn it feels attacked because it's implemented that that Louise's trauma
doesn't come from Ted. It comes from her dad.
Yeah, which is a falsity that she doesn't want to believe in.
Yeah,
she
wants gets mad at that.
That's such a common thing too, is where people with really, really bad childhoods, the mother will cover for the sins of the father.
Yeah.
And be they're that sort of generational trauma thing is really prevalent because they don't want to admit that they put that up, that they put their child in that situation, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's it didn't happen that way. It's happened to everybody with a shitty childhood. That's I would bring up stuff to my mother and be no, that never. No, you really fucked up.
It's a meme these days, right? Where the parents are sort of that never happened.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And that also ties into a lot of Ari Aster's themes, where it's these cults.
Yeah, it is a bunch of.
Whether it's satanic cults or cults off in the Netherlands that just have this inherent beliefs. It's just about being vulnerable and having this trauma that a lot of these predators sort of prey on. And that's what's really scary.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do believe in people like Alex Jones that say that Sandy Hook never happened.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And you know, that's just how it is these days, because COVID created this like landscape where people were just consuming these batshit crazy ideologies
24/7. Yeah.
and just running with them. Yeah, absolutely. But Joe Cross, you know, he is very outspoken about not believing.
But that makes Louise feel like
attacked.
Yeah, attacked, because she's like, well, if you don't believe him, then why would you believe me?
Yeah.
And this actually happened to me. Like, how this is real. This isn't fake. This is my life.
So Joe Cross goes and has a one-on-one with Michael, who is a black cop, right?
Yeah.
And he has this one-on-one with them, and he's like, you know what, man?
When I become mayor,
I'm gonna promote you to captain.
Yeah.
Or
captain.
Sergeant. Was it sergeant?
Sergeant.
Something like that. It was a
Yeah.
promotion, and Michael feels sort of heartfelt, but he also questions.
He's like, is it because of what happened today?
And what he's referring
Right.
to is
It's
the George Floyd murder.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like Joe, obviously he's an old guy who doesn't care about anything but himself.
Or these sort of news outlets, because
Yeah.
it didn't get to his feed.
Yeah.
Because we see
Yeah.
that his feed is sort of suspect.
Oh yeah, there's like an article on his feed that's like, random immigrant stabs child and you don't hate them enough. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like I read
Really
that, I was like,
gross
what the freak?
So obviously he didn't get the George Floyd stuff. Michael sort of warns him that there could be tensions that will rise about in the city of Eddington.
Yeah.
Because of this. But, you know, Joe was sort of being consumed with his campaign himself and just wanting to be a good guy, promoting Michael, not really because of the George Floyd murder.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care about it or wants to listen about it.
Yeah.
He has this one-on-one with him. And I will say this, too, about Michael. You know,
he's not perfect either.
This is a movie about division.
And Michael is very like divided with himself because he's a black policeman.
He is a black policeman, and he's conflicted because his ex-girlfriend, who is white, is wanting to preach about him about racism, right?
Yeah.
And you could tell that she's inexperienced in these sort of conflicts, and she wants to believe what I would assume her feed has told her.
Yeah.
And you know, it's such a weird middle ground, because the next day there are these protests.
Yeah, there's
like 50 kids out there or something.
Yeah.
And they're all really young. It's all kids.
Yeah, it's all the kids from the party basically that they had earlier.
Yeah.
And guess who's there? The crazy homeless guy.
Oh yeah, they take a knee, and the crazy homeless guy is like just walking around, and I think Brian is like, I don't have anything for you.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's just walking around coughing on everybody.
Oh yeah, he's coughing on everyone.
He is definitely patient zero. Obviously, Joe Cross does not handle this situation at all, because whenever he's in his cop meeting in the sheriff's office, like all of them are just kind of coming up with ideas for slogans or something, but he doesn't want the town hall meeting to be canceled because he's going to speak at this town hall meeting. Mm-hmm. He's talking to this middle ground lady, Paula. Mm-hmm. And Paula is the one that sort of pushes back on Ted Garcia's favoritism towards the data center. She's wondering why he's giving all these resources.
Yeah.
She's on the city council, I think.
Yes. And she wants to sort of help Joe Cross because
she just doesn't want the data center basically
being built.
Yeah. I think she's not a COVID denier either. They don't really like say that. It just seems like
we never get her opinion on it.
Yeah, it just seems like she just doesn't want the town to suffer.
Yeah.
You know, from the data center.
But right in the halfway, I would say midpoint of this movie.
Oh yeah.
Because I swear to God, I went into this movie blind. I thought this movie was gonna be like the campaign with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis, where it was just these two political figureheads going at it and wild shit ensues. But
you thought Joaquin Phoenix was gonna punch a baby?
Absolutely. I mean, and that probably would have been better than what he eventually does.
It starts off like that because at first, like obviously Pedro Pascal's like, look at the scandal you have with all these deputies I fired. But then but then Joe is like, hey, like also I know you did something to my wife.
Yeah.
So it kind of seems like it's gonna be like scandal after scandal, but it becomes like this like weird movie.
Because we find out after Vernon Jefferson visits the Cross household, he sort of digs out of Louise Cross that she was molested or touched or assaulted at a young age.
Because of like the little like speech she gets.
And here's where Joe Cross sort of loses it, because he initially asks her if it was her father.
But she doesn't say anything. She like falls asleep or pretends to fall asleep.
But then he's like, was it Ted? Was it Ted?
But she doesn't give him an answer.
And he's like, okay, it was Ted. So he he dismisses this riot.
Well, that was the first riot. The second riot where that stuff happened.
Yeah. And then he goes to the town hall meeting.
Well, okay, no, because you forget that you got the two riots mixed up. Okay, so before the riot with the town hall, that's the one where somebody broke like a storefront window.
Yeah.
That old guy's getting really
called a Nazi.
Yeah, and at first he's talking to like the person who created the riot, and the guy's like, just go away, it's fine, like this is our First Amendment. But then he sees Eric in the riot, and he's like, look at here, you little piece of shit. You think he's like, you think you can record me all the time? And then like Eric's like, what? You want to talk about the time my dad dumped your wife? Your whore wife. Yeah. And then like your mother-in-law sends me stuff all the time. Like maybe I wouldn't be so like messed up if it wasn't for that. And then like Joe grabs Eric, and he knows he's being recorded, so he's like, oh crap, and he grabs the kid's phone. He's like, no, I'm trying to like diffuse the situation.
To explain.
Yeah. And then that's when he goes to Paula's, and he's like, Ted, what's his name? Ted Garcia is a rapist, basically.
He's a predator.
Yeah.
He raped my wife. And
on like no information.
Yeah.
He runs with it.
He runs with it.
Because Joan Paula's in the background.
She's scared, but at the same time, she's like, you know what? Whatever.
Like, I trust this man.
And back in 2020, yes, you could have lost your campaign with this. But
not now.
In present day, you could just say anything. You could just say whatever and run with it.
Charlie Kirk.
Oh, God forbid! YouTube, please don't shut us down.
I just mentioned
he was a saint. No. Here's the thing. Like later on, we see someone take a picture with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I am constantly wondering how
you blocked by her on Twitter?
I'm blocked by Nancy Mace.
Oh, okay. They'll sing the same to me.
But during the January 6th riot. She was live tweeting. She was doxing AOC.
Like she's here.
She was telling these rioters exactly where to look for these politicians, and she still has a prominent career in politics.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And here's the thing. 2020 created that division because back then you could not say anything like that.
Yeah, like if a politician got out like a scandal, they would get fired. But now they could just say whatever.
They could say whatever, and it's so long as it fits their agenda. Yes, it doesn't matter. And God, that's why a lot of movies made past the 2020 mark either briefly talk about COVID or they're centered around COVID. But this movie really captures what the time was like.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most like I don't want to say accurate, but like
it shows
atmospherically apt.
Yeah.
It's like
it showed how crazy both sides got.
Yeah, absolutely. And go ahead.
It's how crazy it made everybody.
Yeah.
But he runs with this because even his deputy, what's his name, Guy's like, do you want me to post this?
And he's like, yeah, post it.
Post it. I don't care.
Like, the entire time he's like panicky. Like he's actually like, oh my god, like
I just said that.
Yeah, and then like he comes home and Louise is just standing in the driveway.
She's got her bags packed.
Yeah, she's already packed, and he knows like
the bus is there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, is this because like of what I said? And she's like, yeah, like I legit told you I did not want to be part of this.
Oh, he pulls up and there's the taxi cab is there.
Yes.
Oh no, that's for the mother-in-law.
That's later. That's for the mom. Yeah. later on. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because then Austin Butler pulls up with the bus.
Yes.
And he comes out, he's like, see ya, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cold speak.
Yeah,
Right.
he's like, I'm not a bad guy, you know?
Like-
Yeah, very like evil youth pastor type of.
And then like the next morning, Luis freaking posts on the internet like, hey, my husband told you a lie.
Yeah.
It wasn't Ted Garcia.
I was molested.
I was molested, but I don't have to tell you who it was because that is
Yeah.
my privacy as a victim.
Well, here's the concerning part. Dawn, the mother.
Oh yeah.
She whenever Joe Cross comes out against Ted Garcia, claiming him to be a sexual predator,
She's all
the mother.
for
She's
it.
very supportive. She's like,
Yeah.
you did it in a very repugnant way, but this is the best you'll ever do for this girl's
Yeah.
life.
But as soon as she
Yeah.
finds out
That
it wasn't Ted Garcia, she's like calling on the phone to
she's
Luis,
calling
being
Louise,
like,
being like, you ruined it.
yeah, like what are you
Yeah.
talking about? Your life isn't real and blah 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 blah.
So this sort of leads Ted
Dude.
Garcia to sort of celebrate as a
Yeah.
victory because they're playing this video at one of his parties. They're all wearing masks, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
and
like-
then at the entrance, there's a guy taking temperatures.
Yeah.
and stuff. So everything's like kosher.
Yeah, and you know, he answers the call because even Guy, his deputy, questions if he should even answer this noise complaint because obviously Ted Garcia is celebrating
Yeah.
this admission from Louise Cross as a victory.
Yeah, he's like, there's
Yeah.
no way you can accuse me of being a rapist and come back from this.
Yeah.
Especially when it's refuted by the person that you're
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Which
And-
I would say right now, I find that the most unbelievable part of this whole movie. because like
what?
I definitely feel like this is a way to push the plot forward by Louise
Oh.
Cross, but I feel like politically speaking, especially how things are now, we could just run with lies and take it all the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
but,
well, this is also, but it's
Before
set
all
in
that,
2020.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
then-
it's before all the AI shit happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
jobs and whatnot,
Exactly. Yeah.
But you know, Joe Cross answers this noise complaint from Ted Garcia's house.
He gets to the house. He turns on. He doesn't talk to anybody. He just like turns off the music.
We see that Eric Garcia, his son, is sort of talking to.
Oh, but that's like after he like leaves.
Yeah.
But yeah, he like
Yeah.
turns on the music, and then like Ted Garcia like comes.
Beautiful scene.
He like
It's
turns
one-
up the music
it's my
again.
favorite scene of the movie. 'Cause he's so mad. And he's walking through this party, and like fucking Katy Perry is playing.
Yeah, Katy Perry's fireworks. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
ignite.
And he's just so mad, stomping through this party, and everybody's watching him. And he walks up and he turns off the. It's like a record player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's
a
not what-
DJ.
It's a DJ.
Yeah, it's like a
thing,
DJ.
yeah.
He gets the DJ to stop. And then he's leaving, and then he gets completely emasculated by Ted in front of everybody.
He really does.
It's kind of it's a great scene because I think it's the best like acting wise, like performance wise.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that scene between the two of them is like so well put together. It's great. And then he like, and then he's completely emasculated. The music goes back on, and then he just walks back out. And it's like, it's not. I don't think it's all one shot. I have to go back and watch it. but
Oh
it's
right.
close.
But we notice when he pulls off the sign on top of his SUV
Oh yeah.
gets knocked off.
That has the wrong "your" by the way.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah,
And we noticed that in one of his political campaigns, he's like, "You're paying for a data center," but he uses the wrong
Yeah.
"your."
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be you.
R
I'm sorry.
apostrophe E.
No, I'm sorry. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Sorry, I said
Yeah.
you.
But he is just done. You know, we realize that Louise has left with Vernon Jefferson
Yeah, obviously.
to join his cult.
Yeah.
And he's just left there with Dawn, the mother. He is done. He has
Yeah.
lost his campaign.
lost his wife.
As a protagonist, it's not a good guy, but as a protagonist,
Yeah.
he's at like his lowest point.
Yeah.
And he.
Well, so far.
Oh my God, the road.
Oh my God.
The road,
Oh
right?
yeah.
What road?
He's driving down Main Street,
Oh yeah, he's
downtown.
patrolling.
And there's a resident that's like, "You're going the wrong way."
Oh yeah, because he's literally going the wrong way on the street. But I was like, he's just going the wrong way in life.
And we could see him as sort of a harbinger, like you said.
Oh yeah. I was like, that's very like harbinger.
He's definitely foreshadowing, like, no, dude, you are going down the wrong path right now.
And then he turns, and then the first kill
he sees
of the
is
movie.
Mr. Homeless Man. He's in that bar
and
where
he's like, you won't poison me. I'm gonna poison you. You think I'm the disease?
Yeah, and he's coughing about it.
Yeah, and he's coughing. He's drinking.
He's getting super wasted, and
he sees Joe.
Joe's sort of observing him.
Yeah.
He's sort of just observing him, and he's just had it. He is just like...
And then, like, he starts yelling, like, the homeless man starts yelling, like, at Joe. Like, not, like, super directly, but he's looking at him, and then Joe's just like, bam,
boom,
bam,
boom, boom.
bam.
Yeah, he's like, what are you going to do, kill me? And Joe kills him.
He shoots him,
He shoots him,
twice.
And then he's so quick to act. He wraps him up in garbage bags and tape, and he puts on gloves.
He does it so, like, nonchalantly, too.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, like, panic or anything. He's like, all right, time to get the garbage bag.
And that's kind of how, I guess, the American government dealt with COVID. They just sort of declared victory and then deal with any of the fallout.
They're just like, whatever, everyone go back to work. It's fine.
Yeah.
Who cares? I know here in Texas, we definitely dismissed it very early because I know there were cities like New York and Chicago that actually dealt with it far into 2022, I believe.
Really?
Still in lockdown,
Wow.
Before it was officially declared, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And this is where the Ari Aster technique sort of takes over, and this becomes a downward spiral nightmare.
The domino
effect. It becomes a nightmare. That's accurate. Yeah.
Because then next we cut to Ted. He's in his living room. He just sat down. He turned on the TV, and then he sees like that little girl Sarah's purse in his house, and he's like, Eric, what the heck?
I told you no people inside the house.
I saw you with that little girl.
You probably had sex with this girl.
No, he didn't say that. But then like he's like the son Eric, he's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden like freaking Ted is just shot in the chest through his chair.
Yeah.
And like you see it a split second before it happens, the little like light that the bullet.
Yeah. Muzzle flash.
Yeah. The flash. Thank you. I don't play Resident Evil.
No, you're fine. No, and this is exactly the point where I realized no wonder my friend was wanting me to watch this film.
Oh yeah.
Because Joe Cross
dies, obviously.
Joe Cross.
Oh, sorry.
He has become the embodiment of gun violence here in America.
Yeah.
Where it's just sort of out of control, but at the same time, we're doing nothing about it. He shoots Ted Garcia through, I presume, the heart.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Because his son Eric comes out and he notices.
Yeah, and then like Joe shoots at the son. He misses one time, and like the son's trying to run.
Yeah, but like, Joe's such a good shot.
Yeah, that like he shoots him like I think like in the stomach or something.
Yeah, but it's a kill shot.
Yeah, it's a kill shot because he falls too. When he falls, his arm is like bent weird. Like it's not a natural position.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And then we see that it's fucking Joe.
Yeah. So once Joe...
He's wearing his little booties.
He goes back home, and obviously Louise is not there, but Dawn is.
Oh, yeah.
And we see Joe suffering. He's sweating through the night.
Oh, yeah. He gets home, and we see his glasses are all, like, messed up.
Yeah.
And he thinks Dawn is Louise, and he, like, tells her, like, am I, like, being called to, like, you know...
By God.
Yeah, to do something great. And then Dawn's like, I don't know, but like I think they're gonna kill me. Like they killed Ted.
And she says that Vernon blocked him, right?
Oh yeah, that Vernon and Louise blocked them, and she has no way of like contacting Louise. And then like freaking Joe's like, I killed Ted. Like, don't worry about like, these conspiracies.
It wasn't them, it was me.
But the freaking Antifa comes.
Okay, so these Antifa super soldiers. They see that something is going on in Eddington.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, our next like attack is gonna be in Eddington.
They're coming on this private jet, and they're just decked out in military gear.
Also, all of their equipment is like brand new.
Yeah.
Like it's like the movie does not spell out like who these like paramilitary guys are
Yeah.
working for, but like it's like somebody with a lot of money is like funding these
people.
essentially like mercenaries.
Yeah.
Like, to go to this little town and stir shit up
and cause violence, because the next morning, Guy sort of informs Joe about what's going on. He doesn't really tell him, but he's like, "You got to get down here." And then once Joe arrives to the crime scene, Guy's like, "Hey,
This is bad.
Yeah. But
You're gonna be mayor."
yeah, and there's this other force, this other police officer, Officer Butterfly.
Yeah, from the Pueblo next door, yeah. Or to the next county, yeah.
Where they've had constant conflict with. And he's sort of there observing because he's got a bullet case and track marks on his end.
Yeah, because half the case is in Pueblo, and then half the case is in Eddington, because of the way the border is.
Yeah.
But they don't want to share the case with Officer Butterfly, because they're like, you don't help us, because you keep your resources to yourself. And Butterfly's like, we have the same resources as you. Like,
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. And that's like, there's a pinch of racism in there. Like, 100%.
Yeah. We see that Guy sort of doesn't... He's
not thinking.
He's really bad at it because he touches on the purse that's left there.
He's he has one glove on, but he doesn't have like the other hand glove, so he's like, oh, I touched it, like now the evidence is contaminated, we can't use it. So Joe's like, just keep touching it, because like I guess he kind of wants to implicate that the girl did it somehow, but it doesn't work in his favor.
He wants to blame it on Sarah.
Yeah.
He just got lucky. Well, he's trying to like spin this.
Yeah, in a
way.
certain way.
Like he's just got lucky that she left her bag there.
And we see that because Eric Garcia, the mayor's son, has sort of romantically pursued Sarah. He makes out with her. He sends a picture to Brian. And Brian sort of loses it because the whole reason he was politically involved
was for Sarah.
And he sends Michael, the black cop.
Because he finds out that him and Sarah
had
a past.
And he sends him the picture. And this sort of spirals, right?
Well, I also want to know too, before we like really move on, that Officer Butterfly saw that there was like a note on the table.
Yes.
And he was like, "Leave that to forensics. Y'all need to have like a handwriting expert."
Oh,
look
from
at
the wall,
yeah. Because there was like hate message too.
Because Joe's trying to frame it as an Antifa terrorist attack.
Yeah.
Which is why the Antifa super soldiers, the fake, paid militia, sort of comes into town. There's so much going on here. At this point,
a lot happens real fast.
Yeah.
Because it really does stop being about this campaign.
Yeah,
it really does stop
it.
being that. And just in Ari Aster fashion, it becomes this complete insanity, just madness.
Yeah. And it's about all these outside forces acting on the people in the movie.
Yeah. We see once they get back to the police's office, Brian is there. And he's sort of spoken to Guy, and Guy's like, hey, this kid is weird. He doesn't want to look us in the eyes.
He's only going to talk to you, so go talk to him.
And this is where we sort of see an ex machina for Joe Cross.
Yeah.
He's sort of saved by this.
Because Brian tells him hey, that guy out there, Michael, he
used to date
a minor. That's obviously not okay. You need to know this. And freaking Joe, he's like, okay, kid, go run off. And he's like, okay, Michael, let me see your phone. I have to see your Instagram. There's accusations. And they find the picture of Eric Garcia kissing Sarah. And they're like, hey, what's up with that? That's okay.
We know you have a connection with this girl. And this is where we really, I would say, feel so scummy for Joe Cross.
Yeah.
Joe absolutely has disgusted me at this point.
He plants something that came from Ted Garcia's house into Michael's car.
And Officer Butterfly is there.
Yeah, the rifle. But Michael even says you knew I was practicing with the rifle.
Because we talked about our accuracy. Our shooting accuracy.
Yeah. So I don't know why you think the rifle is evidence, but then they jail him.
They lock him up.
They arrest him. Yeah.
And what is it? Michael wants to make his one call.
Yeah, he makes it to his cousin or uncle or something like that.
But Officer Butterfly doing the actual police work. He has been investigating. He notices the tire marks on Joe Cross's SUV.
Oh yeah, he's like measuring them.
He notices the E, like you said.
Oh, on the whiteboard. Yeah, he sees the letter E, and he like freaking runs out. But I'm like, why'd you do that? You look so suspicious right now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, butterfly.
Like, God, yeah. Like at this point, like any sort of like sympathy you'd have towards Joe is like gone because he just keeps digging further and further and becoming a worse and worse person. Because at the beginning he was like, this guy kind of sucks, but like, you kind of feel bad for him because of the situation he's in, and he's kind of dumb. So you feel bad for him, but he just keeps doubling down and just like doesn't examine anything critically at all.
And like every time you think he could like stop and just like redeem himself, it's like, nope, I gotta make it worse.
Have a single moment of introspection,
right?
And it doesn't happen.
And to me it's so hard to watch him trying to pin this on Michael while we see the betrayal of Guy. Because we noticed that Guy has sort of been deferring to Michael about this Black Lives Matter movement because of the George Floyd murder. And we kind of see a distrust between Guy and Michael.
Yeah, because then like Guy tells Joe, he was like, I never thought he was like one of those.
Yeah, black people.
Yeah, basically. And it, like, you just see him like turn on him completely. And even Michael's like, they're trying to pin this on me. Like, like he's in such disbelief that his fellow like coworkers are that freaking quick.
And Brian, the friend who ultimately started all of this, he's sort of asked to leave because he doesn't want to be involved in this.
Yeah.
And as Joe Cross realizes that Officer Butterfly has realized something.
Yeah. He follows him.
He follows Officer Butterfly back to Joe's house where Dawn is waiting, and she's sort of scared because there's a colored person on her yard. And she's like, please help. But she wants to talk to Officer Butterfly.
About her daughter.
About her daughter being abducted.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
But Officer Butterfly is like,
abducted in the way that she thinks abducted.
Yes, because she's batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And, Joe Cross sort of intervenes, but at the same time, he is called back by Guy.
Yeah, he's like, there's a dumpster fire.
There's a literal dumpster fire.
So
he goes back and like...
We can assume that these were the Antifa
No, yeah,
super
it was
soldiers.
the Antifa for sure because then they steal the evidence that they had against Michael. And
they abduct Michael.
And they abduct Michael. Yeah, they take him, but they don't know that. They think that Michael escaped and he took the evidence and he's on the run.
He burned all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like
Joe and Guy sort of head out
to look for Michael. Yeah. And Guy finds Michael first, and
he calls Joe over, and he's like, Michael's being weird.
He's not saying anything. He's just standing there. What do I do?
All this while Joe Cross has noticed in the town there's white supremacy puppets on top of buildings.
Yeah.
He sees graffiti
everywhere.
He's scared.
Yeah, he knows like something's happening. Yeah. But like then they're like both with Michael, and they decide to like pursue him. But Michael's like...
He's like this.
He's like, they're gonna shoot me! And then freaking Guy blows up into pieces!
Because Michael is trying to warn him.
Exploderated.
Yes, exploderated. Like, they even showed the pieces of him.
His whole torso is blown off. Mm-hmm. Michael was trying
His arm still had the gun.
Michael was trying to warn that he is being set up. I thought he was about to be burned to a cross.
Oh yeah,
because these Antifa people they had lit a cross on fire in the middle of town.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah,
and these guys are just being truly awful, which I would feel is resembling that of PETA, because I feel like PETA is like a psyop. I feel like PETA is a psyop made by the meat industry to get us to not be vegan, because PETA is just doing constantly just stupid shit.
They're doing a lot of horrible shit in the name of helping animals.
Yeah, and I feel like these Antifa super soldiers are doing the same.
Yeah, and they're being paid to go in and stir shit up.
And create like a false flag narrative.
Yeah.
And it's truly scary because...
Which is the thing that the crazy right-wingers push on all the the Democrats and stuff.
Yeah.
They're like,
absolutely.
Oh, it's a false flag thing. Yeah. And it's like, well, for those guys, a lot of the times those like accusations are confession.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then Joe.
So-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just making a face.
But and then Joe gets Guy's gun from his hand.
Yeah.
He sees that Michael is still alive,
breathing.
so he's just like, okay, whatever, you're fine. And he like runs because then Antifa like freaking starts shooting at him.
Yeah, he notices a guy off in the distance.
Oh yeah, he does.
And he's like, no, I'm going to take matters in my own
Yeah.
hands. Because you said he truly believes that this is the real Antifa.
Yeah.
That's committing these crimes. Because he lives in this distorted, delusional world where these people are causing this chaos.
Yeah.
Because he finds a phone that has all these events.
Oh, yeah.
All these political events of Antifa soldiers shooting at cops. Creating these riots, like
forgot about that.
looting and all this stuff.
But yeah, they end up like chasing Joe like across town. Like he's like
he runs out of his inhaler. He's running for his life.
and Brian is
For like the last hour of the movie, his breathing and his voice are getting worse and worse.
And Brian is like in town at the Eric Garcia vigil, and he sees Joe running.
Yeah,
Joe even goes and gets a COVID test.
Oh my god!
right,
Yeah, he gets a COVID test at some point.
we can assume that he's contracted.
Yeah, so he has his
and
asthma
then
and his COVID.
He gets the email about his COVID test.
Oh,
Yeah.
does he? I do not remember.
He doesn't
that.
check it.
Yeah,
'cause he doesn't care.
Okay.
He doesn't care.
And we see him being hunted down by these Antifa super soldiers.
But Joe knows the terrain really well, so he like traps him. He makes him go on foot.
He runs to the gun store.
Yeah. Oh, he runs straight to the gun store and like comes
Gets
out
this like minigun, right?
It's like a Vietnam era like machine gun.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and he accidentally shoots Officer Butterfly.
And like he takes off Officer Butterfly's leg. Like he shoots
he
it
blows his leg
off.
off.
Because then Officer Butterfly's like, hey, like what the fuck? And then like the Antifa
To
people
shoot him in the head because they're
Yeah.
trying to kill Joe Cross, and they're trying to stop this from, sort of hitting the news outlet or something.
Well, no, they're trying to like kill the sheriff and blame it on
Antifa,
like left-wing extremists.
Yeah. And God, I would say this is where it really hits its American Psycho for me, because a lot of this action is just insane. A lot of this action is just off the wall.
It is very similar to the final run at the end of American Psycho, because it's the craziest shit.
Yeah.
Like there's explosions and stuff.
And we eventually see
Joe run out of
Cross
bullets.
come down to the last
Yeah.
Antifa soldier.
And he runs out of bullets.
This is the luckiest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Like, because the whole time from the encounter with Mike out in the desert to running into town, like he's getting shot at the entire time.
Yeah.
And
They're
they
all
keep
missing.
missing.
Yeah.
They keep missing. Yeah. Over and over and over again. And it's just like,
Like what the freak?
okay, this might be okay. Here's my like biggest reach in this movie, right? Is that in some way Joe Cross is like an analog for Trump because so he's in power when he's like it's the end of his term when COVID comes up, right? And then so and anything that Trump does or says like just doesn't stick to him.
Yeah.
And he's just like the luckiest guy in the world because like it doesn't matter how awful of a human being he is, he just keeps getting like reelected.
Yeah, like seriously.
And so like I feel like that's like a metaphor, like how nobody can pin anything on this on Joe Cross because and it's not necessarily a position he wanted being mayor, but he just did it out of spite.
Again?
So like these are just parallels that I'm drawing. Like Trump didn't really, you feel like Trump didn't really want to be president, but it happens anyway, right? Yeah. So at some point, Joe becomes mayor, and he is not in control. He's just a figurehead, and it's the crazy, like conspiracy theory people that he hangs out that are essentially keeping him alive. That are really in control, and it's like we all kind of feel that way. Like, or a lot of people.
This feels like real life.
Yeah. So I kind of see some parallels there, and whether or not they were intentional, it's just like you can kind of like you could draw those conclusions to be
like the new Superman.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, because normally we would frown upon people like Dawn. You know,
Yeah.
we would say that she's batshit crazy. She has no, right to be in office. But she is speaking on Joe Cross's behalf because he is now incapacitated.
Because he got freaking stabbed in the head
He
twice.
gets stabbed in the head, yeah.
And he's just this vegetable of a human being.
Yep.
And you know what? At the end of the day, what matters is that solid gold Magikarp has prevailed, because the movie cuts to the 1-year anniversary of our hero, Brian, who came in and shot the Antifa super soldier and became a right-wing hero. He is now on the opposite side of where he started on the political spectrum.
Yeah, he doesn't care about being like a Kyle Rittenhouse darling.
I know, yeah, exactly.
It's just an opportunity for him to get laid.
Yeah,
That's all it is to him.
He wants to be like oh, I got the girl, I got the house, I got the money.
Yeah.
I'm a man, you know?
And
they're living in Florida.
Oh yeah. And his girlfriend's just like vaping there.
Oh yeah.
And what is he doing now more than ever? He is
podcasting.
He is podcasting and being divisive.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of podcasters are these days. Yeah. They're dividing us. They're creating separation. They're telling us what to believe. They're controlling us in a way. Just like Brian is. He's benefited from this heavily because he started all of this.
Yeah.
He started the framework for Michael being the murderer of Ted Garcia, even though that never comes to fruition.
Oh yeah, because then we see
Michael is now sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he becomes sheriff,
And he is recording Joe Cross, even though Dawn is speaking for Joe Cross. They're at the Solid Gold Magikarp data center opening because at the end of the day, tech prevails.
Yeah.
Whether or not we collapse as a society, it's these tech AI bros that are just benefiting from this. Heavily.
It's the capitalism. Yeah, exactly.
Capitalism.
It's like the real monster at the end of the movie.
That's right there out in the open.
Yeah, it's just right there out in the open. It's just out there to like, because the people who built Solid Gold Magikarp don't care who's mayor as long as they get to keep doing their shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
and
extracting resources for nonsense. It's
and that's where I would say, like, we love Letterboxd. I would have given this movie a 5, but I give it a 4 because of just how much of a bummer this movie is.
How too close to the nose it is in real life.
It's truly. I know it.
It's like.
I know it's labeled as a thriller, but this is legit the scariest movie I've seen all year. And no, like you said, we went to go see Weapons because you recommended Weapons to us. And the whole time, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, every time I looked over at Isaiah's face was like.
What
is going on?
The whole time watching Weapons, but this ending, these last 45 minutes of Eddington, they're truly terrifying.
Crazy, yeah.
And what I would say is the ending shot is that Michael, the now sheriff, he's in the gun range.
Well, he's in the desert practicing his shots.
Practicing, yeah.
And I don't know who he might be attempting to assassinate.
But like you would assume it's probably Brian.
Right?
Yeah,
because he's the one.
Yeah, but who knows? Like,
it could be Joe.
Or if he's just focusing on improving.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Or he's just preparing for something. Whatever it is, it's ominous.
Yeah, it's truly scary, and in light of what happened 2 weeks ago at Utah Valley University,
the last shot is of him like
in the neck.
Yeah,
there's a neck shot, and good God. Good God!
What timing? Oh my God.
Right, I know.
I don't know why they released this movie in July, where Superman was still out. I feel like this should have been a fall movie.
I know, right? It felt more fall-y to me.
It feels like a movie that, because like after Hereditary and Midsommar did they made money, they made good money.
Yeah.
I think Beau Was Afraid did too. I think this is one of those things where like they just sort of let Ari Aster make whatever he wants. Because I think he's got that much.
This was his one movie out of the 4.
Yeah,
His one summer blockbuster.
And I read on Wikipedia that he'd been trying to make a Western for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
For
my
like
god.
years.
The
Yeah.
score.
And so,
The score is very Western.
So this is like his version of a Western, but as time went on, they didn't start making the movie until like 23 or something like that. They're like, well, I'm going to rewrite it to add COVID in as part of the plot.
Oh, wow.
And it was honestly a great choice because God, the world really was different before COVID.
it was.
This really feels like watching like a house burn down. it's what this movie's like, but for society.
It's like that Euphoria meme where it's like, bitch, is this fucking play about us?
But as always, we recommend that you go watch Eddington. It was insane. I personally will never watch this film again.
Not because it's not good.
Yeah. It's the one movie that I'll want to show people.
Yeah.
This would be a great movie to show somebody in like 2050.
Oh my
when they were born in
god.
2025.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not gonna be grandparents.
It's like showing somebody who was born in 2005 and documenting 9/11.
Absolutely. But tell us what you got planned for your channel.
We just put out a video of Ben and I, who's another member of Bucket of Owls. We ranked every dinosaur in the Jurassic Park trilogy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because we're both big Jurassic Park nerds.
It's a fantastic
film. We just put out a tier list video for that, and that was really fun. And that's our first normally we do gaming stuff like Let's Plays and streams and stuff, but we felt like doing something a little different. So we have a movie focused video it's fun, and our opinions are completely correct.
Oh my god.
We'll plug the link down below. But if you guys are looking for a new Let's Play channel to watch, please go check out Bucket of Owls Gaming.
Yeah.
Austin, we love you for coming on and being the inaugural guest for our podcast.
Oh my god!
Because
now we've been on each other's channels. Because we've suffered as Marvel rivals together.
Oh, that's
gosh,
right.
that's funny.
Would
you rather play Silver Rank Marvel Rivals or watch Eddington?
Oh my god! Honestly, I would say Eddington. I'd rather watch Eddington. But we love you for coming on. Everyone, please go check out Bucket of Owls, and I hope we get to do more of these in the future. This was fantastic.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was super fun, y'all.
All right. Bye. Remember to subscribe.